My name is Becky Coleman. I am the Senior Community Fundraising Manager at Easyfundraising. So my role is to support good causes with using our platform. So I do lots of sessions like this where I explain what it's all about and how it works. I've been with the organisation since the very beginning. So hopefully I should be able to answer any questions you have, although I do occasionally get asked a question that I'm like, oh wow, in the 15 years I've been doing this, I've never been asked that before. But if I don't know, I will find out for you. Right, so I'm just going to go through who we are and how it works. I'm going to show you how to get started. And then I'm going to also, as we go along, I'm going to give you a demo of how it actually works so that you can see the experience that your supporters would have, and then the tools that we provide to just help our causes raise as much as possible. So we're totally free online fundraising platform. So we exist to enable good causes to raise money from online shopping, and I'll explain more about that in a minute. We've been going since 2007. We were set up here in the Midlands, and we still have our offices here in the Midlands, but as I was saying earlier, we also have a small office down in London as well, but we work nationally, so any good cause around the UK can use Easyfundraising. We're members of the Institute of Fundraising and then CVO, so we do take your fundraising very seriously and we abide by any rules, etc. We have just shy of 200,000 good causes currently using the platform, and just over 45 million has been raised. In fact, we actually paid out our last lot of donations last week, which was the money that our causes have raised in the run up to Christmas. So £1.2 million was paid out last, it was on Valentine's Day actually. So what do we do? So we turn the online shopping that you and your supporters are doing into free donations for your organisation. And I've just said at the top there that we're an alternative to Amazon Smile, and I've just popped that in because and I won't go on about this too much in case it's not relevant to you, but some of you might have heard of Amazon Smile, which was where you could shop with Amazon and they would donate a small amount back to your charity. It was only for charities, and it closed on Monday. It was quite out of the blue. We only knew sort of a month ago that it was going to close, so a lot of charities have been left a little high and dry by this, but it's quite useful for you guys to know that if you were using Amazon Smile, then Easyfundraising is something that can easily replace this, because Amazon Smile was just donations from Amazon. We work with 7,500 other retailers who will all donate to your good cause. So the way that it works, quite simply, is we have 7,500 retailers who will all give a donation to your good cause when your supporters, your volunteers, your staff, your trustees, your parents and family that are kind of connected with your organisation, any of them, when they shop with those retailers. So rather than going straight to a retailer's website, all you do is you access that retailer through the Easyfundraising website or through our app. And we then send you to the retailer where you shop as normally online. But because you've started at Easyfundraising, the retailer will donate a certain percentage of what you have spent back to your good cause at no extra cost to you. So let's say you wanted to buy a new kettle and a toaster from Argos. So instead of going to the Argos website, you would come to Easyfundraising, search for Argos. We will then send you out to the Argos site where you then shop completely as normally. So you're shopping with Argos, you're not shopping with us. You buy your kettle and toaster, it costs you £50. It will only cost you what it was going to cost anyway. But because you started at Easyfundraising, Argos will then donate a certain percentage. I think Argos at the moment is 1.5%, but don't quote me on that. They'll donate that amount back to your good cause. So it will only cost the shopper whatever they were going to spend anyway. It's the retailer that makes the donation, not the shopper. So what it really is a new income stream for your organisation. You know, we're all shopping online, lots and lots at the moment. So this is a way you can monetize that online shopping at no cost to your supporters. I thought I'm just going to talk you through a few stats. I won't go on too much because nobody likes pages and pages of stats, but I just thought this was useful to know. I've been just doing a little bit of research into the sector sort of most recently, and it's tough right out there right now. We all know that there's a cost of living crisis going on, which is corresponding, then there is a cost of giving crisis, because inevitably when people can't afford to heat their homes, they're not going to be able to afford to donate to good causes. So the number of people giving to good causes nationally fell by 4 million. The loss was £4 million. 82% of charity leaders in a survey said they were worried about paying their bills and keeping on top of their running costs this year. 20% of donors have said we're going to have to cut back on donations to cover our household bills. That's we get it, right? We're all feeling the pinch. But causes are seeing more of an increase in demand, and that that's partly the cost of living crisis. That's partly the impact of COVID, which is still being felt. But it's just ironic, really, that at a time when people can't afford to give, causes are seeing more of an increase in demand. But it isn't all bad news, because in another survey I saw, 47% of people said that because of the cost of living crisis, they were actually more aware of those people in need in their community and more aware of the struggles of the third sector. A couple more stats, just to tie this together. 110 billion was spent online last year. 60 million of us are shopping online in the UK, and that equates to nearly 40% of the shopping in the UK is done online. So what I'm getting at really is that it's difficult right now for people to give. The need is greater, but actually not everyone, but a lot of people are shopping online now. So Easy Fundraising is a way that you can turn that shopping that your supporters are doing into donations. So if they can't afford to give in the normal way, if they plan to do a shop, they plan to buy something, that can turn into a donation for your good cause. So the way that it works from an organisation point of view, and I will go through this again later in the session as well, all you do as an organisation, if you're not registered with us already, is you register with us. It's completely free, won't cost you anything to get involved with Easy Fundraising, and it's very quick and easy to register. So after this session, if you were to decide you wanted to do this and you wanted to register your organisation, you'll be up and running in 10 minutes. You then ask your supporters and volunteers to come to Easy Fundraising, choose you as the cause they want to support, and then whenever they shop online, the money that they raise goes to you. The retailer will donate a certain percentage. Donations percentages range from about 0.5% from some retailers up to 10 or even 12% for others. Each retailer sets its own donation amount, and you can see what that is when you go to the Easy Fundraising site, which I will show you in a minute. So some of the benefits of it is that it doesn't cost anything. There are no running costs for you as an organisation. There's no monthly charges. There's no drawdown costs, nothing like that. And it doesn't cost your supporter anything either. They don't have to pay to be part of this. They're not going to be charged for using Easy Fundraising. It's very easy to do. And also reliable and safe. As I say, we take your fundraising really seriously. It's a secure platform. Something I sometimes get asked is, "Oh, well, okay, but are you gonna, when my supporters click out from Easy Fundraising to the retailer, are they, are you going to be sending them lots of data about that supporter?" No, that's not how it works. When somebody goes from Easy Fundraising to a retailer, the information that is passed is anonymised. You basically become a little bit of code in the system, so the retailer doesn't know who you are, and all they know is that you've come from Easy Fundraising. If you then went on to decide that you wanted to make an account with that retailer, you wanted to register for their newsletter, that's absolutely fine. That's exactly the same as if you'd gone straight to their website. But just rest assured that we are not passing any information about you to a retailer. It is unrestricted funding, which is really, really key. So you can use the money that you raise through Easy Fundraising for whatever you want. If you want to use it for a certain project, then you can. Claire mentioned you're raising for you need £250,000 for your project. You can raise for a certain project. But if you simply want to use it to offset your running costs, to keep the lights on, to keep the volunteers stocked up with tea and biscuits, that's absolutely fine too. You don't need to tell us what it is you're actually going to do with the money. It's not like applying for a grant where you need to say, we need this amount and we're going to do this with it and these are going to be the outcomes. We trust that you will use it for whatever you want, and if that is running costs, absolutely fine. It also runs alongside anything else you're doing, so you don't need to think, okay, if I'm doing easy fundraising, I can't apply for grants or anything like that. That's not the case. You can do all of your other sorts of fundraising, your events, your grants, your trusts, your face-to-face, your whatever you do, you can do all of those, but you can also have easy fundraising ticking along in the background on an ongoing basis. It's also unrestricted in the sense that there's no upper limit on how much you can raise, and there's no time limit. So some of our causes that registered with us in 2007 are still using us to this day. So you use us for as long as you want, and you raise as little or as much as you want. There's no cut-off point. And it is free. So as I've said lots of times, I get asked this a lot, but it is completely free. And there are over 7,000 retailers involved. So this is really key, because this isn't about asking people to do something that they're not already doing. It's not about encouraging people to shop more or spend more or buy more than they're comfortable with. It's just tapping into that shopping that they were already going to do anyway. Over 7,500 retailers. These are just a few of the really popular ones, but we do cover off pretty much all of the categories of retailers that you can think of. So fashion and home and garden, children's toys, travel, insurance, supermarkets, everything really, everything you can think of. So I'm going to do you a quick demo now, so you can see how the Easy Fundraising site actually works if you are a shopper, if you're actually using Easy Fundraising to raise money for your cause. So this is my Easy Fundraising page. I am already registered as a good cause. So when your supporters have registered, they will have a page like this, and it will show them the name of the cause they're supporting. So this is my cause. I volunteer with them on a Friday, so they're who I support. A little bit of information about them, what they've raised, how much in the last month, how many supporters. And then this bit here shows you what you personally have raised. So these are my most recent donations. The reason my amount that I've raised is larger than my cause is because previously I supported my son's school, so my total is a combination of the two. So all you do if you want to shop is a couple of ways you can use the site. You can either search for the retailer that you want to shop with. So you just search. I'm going to use John Lewis as my example. So if I just type in John, it will come up with anything that matches that. If I click on that, it will firstly take me to this page, which tells me everything I need to know about John Lewis donations. So if there are any terms and conditions surrounding why you may or may not get a donation, for example, it will be here. So, for example, some retailers might say, if you are using a voucher code, you won't get a donation. Some retailers, that you will still get a donation, but it's always worth, if you're shopping for a retailer for the first time, clicking that just to find out if there's anything you need to know. And what this is telling me here is if I buy something today, if I was to buy an Apple, Android, smart or telephony product, 0.5% of what I spend is going to my good cause. Anything else I buy from John Lewis, 2%. So all I do now is I click on any one of these yellow buttons, doesn't matter which one you do, and it takes me to John Lewis, and you see you get that little notification to say that your donation has been enabled. And now that's it. I just shop exactly as normal. I'm not shopping with Easy Fundraising, I'm shopping with John Lewis. If I have a John Lewis account, I could log into that in the normal way. If I carry on and buy something, up to 2% is going back to my good cause. The other way you can use the site is by looking at our categories. So this is for if you don't know who you want to shop with, but you do know what you are looking to buy. You can go to our categories here and you will get a list of all of our different categories. So I'm going to go here to travel, and I'm going to choose holiday packages. And so this now gives me a list of all of the different retailers that I could buy a holiday package from and what their donation rate will be. So I'll pick first choice. Again, just quickly takes me here. First, 2% of what I spend if I buy a holiday. Click on that, shop now, and off you go. You're out to Easy Fundraising. You're out to first choice. We have an app as well, which works in exactly the same way as the website, in that you just search for the retailer that you want to shop with. We send you to the retailer. But what we also have is what we call our browser extension, or our donation reminder. This is really, really useful. To give you a little bit of background, when we first started back in 2007, we would get people saying, oh, it's great, love it, but I forgot to go through Easyfundraising. I just went straight to the retailer. And if you do that, then the retailer doesn't know you've come from Easyfundraising, so we can't track that donation for you. So we created the donation reminder to get around that issue. So all you do is you download it to your desktop or your laptop, and you can also have it on an Apple iPhone or iPad. If you have an Android phone, we are working on getting the donation reminder technology into an Android phone, so watch this space. You can use the app on an Android phone, but you can't use the donation reminder on Android yet, but watch this space, we are working on it. And what it basically does is, if you were to go straight to a retailer's website without accessing Easyfundraising first, the donation reminder will kick in, and it will basically know, and it will make sure you don't forget your donation. So I've just opened a new Google browser. So if I type in Marks and Spencer, so I'm not in Easyfundraising now, and I'll go to Marks and Spencer's, and you'll see it immediately pops me up this little message to say that there's a donation available. And all I do is I click that, it just refreshes the screen and keeps me on the Marks and Spencer's website, and it logs me into my Easyfundraising account in the background, and I now will be able to get my donation. If you clicked, instead of yes, I want the donation, you click no, because you would maybe just browsing, but then you did go on to put something in your basket and you got to check out. Once you've got there, the donation reminder will come back and just say, basically, are you sure you don't want a donation? So it will remind you a second time if you've disabled it the first time, if that makes sense. The other thing it does is, if you are searching for a product or a retailer in Google, so if I just type in washing machine, I'll then get Google search results about washing machines. If there are any retailers that you could buy a washing machine from, or a pair of children's shoes or whatever, it will be displayed here with our logo and the little button to tell you what the donation rate will be. So if I click on this for Currys, just takes me to Currys, logging me in the background and enabling me to get my donation. So it's really useful because it means you don't forget. And because we have so many retailers, it might not be that you've forgotten to go through Easyfundraising. You might just not know that that retailer was part of our program. So it's really useful to have. Doesn't slow your computer down, doesn't sort of pop you up little adverts or anything like that, isn't stealing your data. Again, it's just there to make sure you don't miss out on donations, because it is human nature. We're all busy, right? You might, if you've been shopping with John Lewis or Sainsbury's or whoever for years and years and years, you might just be in the habit of going straight to the retailer's website. But if you have the donation reminder, you don't need to worry, because we will remember on your behalf. So how do you register with Easyfundraising as an organisation? So all you do is you go to this link here, easyfundraising.org.uk/community. And actually, let me quickly show you how to do it. Just give me a second. Let me just go back. And what I will do is I will log out of my my Easyfundraising account, and I'll pretend I'm brand new. So you go to easyfundraising.org.uk/community, and you'll see this page here. So all you do is you put in here the name of your good cause. So I'm going to do, please delete this. It is a test. So my team in the background know that this is not a real cause. That's the name of my cause, but you would just put in the name of your course. So you would be putting in Beyond Autism as an example, or Blackheath and Bromley Harriers, and you click sign us up. You'll then come to this page and you put in your name, your email address, and you set a password. When you're doing this, what you're doing is you are registering your organisation with us, but you're also registering yourself as the first supporter of this cause. So if I'm just going to have to do a fake a fake email address for me, just because this is a test course. Oh gosh, sorry, that's meant to go there. So if I put Becky testing, and then I'll just set myself a password. And then just tell us if you're a charity or not. You don't have to be, so don't worry. It's just so that we know whether you are or you're not. And you click, oh gosh, he's already recognising me, because I have to do these quite a lot. So I have to do lots of test accounts. There you go. And then click that button, and we are now creating you a page for your organisation in the background. So you click next step. If you would like to put a bit of a description on your page about who you are and what you do and what you're raising for, you can do that here. If you don't have it to hand or you're not sure what to put, don't worry, you can skip it and you can come back and amend this at a later date. We'll ask you if you would like to give us your phone number. And the reason for that is, don't worry, we're not going to be ringing you up at all hours. One of the services we offer is any of our causes can have a call with a member of our team if you feel like you need one. So if you have questions after registering, or you're just not sure about something, or you'd like a little demo with one of the team, you can access a little calendar where you can choose a time for somebody to call you. It's one-to-one, it's just you and whoever rings from Easy Fundraising. It would be my colleagues Jess or Ellie or Rena or Claire. If you just need 5 minutes because you've got a quick question, or you need 25 minutes because you would like a demo of the site, that's fine. So if you think you would like that, pop your number in there. Again, you don't have to. None of this is voluntary. It is mandatory. If you don't want to, or you feel like you don't need a call, absolutely fine. Click skip for now. Then we'll ask you if you would like to get the donation reminder, if you would like to download it to your computer. And the reason we ask you this is because you're going to be the first supporter, and it's really useful for you to use Easy Fundraising as well, so that you can then explain to your supporters how it works and you can feel confident about how it all works. So we'll say to you, would you like to get the donation reminder? But again, you don't have to. You can click no thanks, or if you already have it for some reason, you can click I've done this. Here's where, if you want to book a call, you would click on that. It will open up a calendar. As I say, you can pick a time to suit you. Don't want to, just click no thanks. So there you go. You have then registered. I'm just going to log back out of that test account and log it back into my normal one. You've now registered your cause with Easy Fundraising. And what I'm going to show you in a minute is what you need to do next, but I'm just going to quickly show you this first. Once you've registered, you will have a page for your organisation on the site that looks like this. This is my cause that I support, that I showed you earlier. They're who I support. This is their page. So when I mentioned about putting a description, if you do want to do that, this is where it lives here. You can also put a logo or an image there to personalise your page. And it will say how much you've raised once you've started raising, and how many supporters you've got, and also your location, your broad location. The thing you need to do next is get your supporters to come to this page and register to support you. I'll show you in a minute how to do that. But just to say, all they do is they come to your page and they click sign up and support this cause. All we need them to give us is a name, email address, and a password. And that enables us to create them an online account that links to you. So we don't need their address. We don't need their mother's maiden name. We don't need their bank details. We don't need their horoscope, nothing like that. We don't need any of that information. We just need to create them an online account that links to you. And they only have to do this once. So it isn't that every time they want to shop, they have to say again, I want to raise for this cause. They do it once, and then they are a supporter of yours until such time as they tell us different. And every time they use the website or the app or the donation reminder, the donations go to you. I thought I would cover off, before I show you how to get your supporters to that page and I'll do another demo for you. I thought I would quickly just answer some questions that might have popped into your head already. So I think I covered this off already. You don't have to be a charity to use Easy Fundraising. We took that decision quite early on because we're aware that there are lots of smaller organisations who perform a really valuable service in the community, but they're not charities. So you can be a voluntary group, you can be a sports club, you can be a Brownie unit, you can be a school PTA, a church, you can be a social enterprise or a CIC, or you can be a charity as well. What we do when you register is what we need to do is we just need to check that your cause exists in some form. So you don't need to have a certain structure or a certain number of trustees or anything like that. We just need to know you exist. And the reason we have to do this is because we can't have people making up fake causes and claiming the money for themselves. You know, it doesn't happen very often, but we do sometimes get people trying to do that. So once you register, our team will check that you are who you say you are, that your cause exists. So that might be checking that, say, you have a website or you have a Facebook page, or we just need to find evidence that you exist. We're not looking to turn you away. We're looking to get you on board, but just for the safety and security of everybody that uses us, we just have to make sure that you are real. It won't cost you anything. As I think I've said, it's always been free. It always has been free, always will be free. We are funded by the retailers, so the retailers will pay us a commission if you make a purchase. That is separate to the donation that you see on the site. So where I showed you John Lewis and it was 2%, that is what you as a cause get. The commission that we get is separate and taken out separately, and we use the money that we get from the retailers to continue to keep Easyfundraising free and to keep the site running and make sure it's a good service for the third sector. You will be paid your donations every 3 months. What we do is we total up everything that's been raised by all of your supporters and we pay it directly to your organisation. So it doesn't go to your supporters and then they have to give it to you. It goes to you, and we will pay it by bank transfer or by cheque, whatever you prefer. We were going to stop doing cheques because most people use a bank transfer, but we do have some causes that still like a cheque. So if that's you, you can have a cheque. One of the things we'll ask you in your first few weeks with Easyfundraising as an organisation is we'll say, how would you like us to pay you? And you can go to a secure area of the site and you input your payment details. Only you can do that and only you can see that. So none of your supporters can see that. I can't see that. No one at Easyfundraising can see that because it's a secure area. And every 3 months, we'll total it all up. You have to have raised £15 in the quarter, so just 15 to trigger a payment in the quarter. If you haven't raised £15, don't worry, you won't lose it. It just rolls into the next quarter instead. And the killer question, how much could you raise? Well, the sky is the limit, really. I spoke to a cause just yesterday, actually, who registered with us on something like the 4th of December, and they're already over £200 raised. We have causes that are raising thousands every year, but I always like to give people a rough benchmark so that you can factor in it, you know, you can work out how this could work for you. So if you factor in that somebody doing a normal amount of online shopping across a year should raise between £30 and £40 for you, that gives you a bit of a benchmark. You can times that by the number of people you have that might support you. If they have that donation reminder installed, it'll be more like £50 to £60 because it's capturing those donations all the time and making sure that you don't miss out. But I'm actually going to show you towards the end of the session some ways where you can really boost that even further. There's some donations or some retailers that offer really, really good donations. But if you go with £40 to £50 as your average, that gives you an idea of how much you could raise. And you don't need lots and lots of supporters. You just need people reliably using it. So don't feel like you have to have hundreds of people using it. Some of our best performing causes have a smallish core of supporters who use it religiously. Okay, so what you need to know now is how to get your supporters involved, how to get them over to that page, your new Easyfundraising page. So I will go back across to the site and I'll show you. We know that you're busy in the third sector. We know that fundraising might not be the only thing you have to do for your organisation. You may wear many hats. You may be involved with more than one organisation. You may be a volunteer. You may be part-time. We know you're busy, right? So we don't want it to be time consuming for you to have to think, how do I explain Easy Fundraising to my supporters? So we've done it all for you. If you go here to the Promote My Cause area, in here, we've put everything that we think you might need. So you will find a ready written email that you could send to your supporters to get them on board, ready written social posts, information for your website, posters and flyers, videos that you can share. Let me show you what I mean. So let's say you register after this session and you think, right, I need to tell my supporters about this. Come here to Get Started and click on Find Out More. What you'll see here is we have written a social post as a first example. Here's a Facebook post that explains to your supporters what's going on. And crucially, what it has, it's bespoke for your organisation. So it says here for me, Home Start Birmingham Northwest, but for you, it will say the name of your cause. And crucially, what it has is the link that your supporters need to go to. It's all pre-populated for you. So all you would need to do here is copy this, click post to Facebook. It will open up into your Facebook account with a nice image, paste in your wording, and off you go. You've shared what your supporters need to know. Same for Twitter, same for WhatsApp and text. Here's an email, again, populated here and here. You could just literally copy that and send it out to your supporters. If you'd like to put information on your website, click here. You've got text for your website, you've got Easy Fundraising logo, you've got banners, all sorts of things to help you create a page on your site if you want to. And then down here, what you've got is lots of different types of wording for different communication channels. So I'll use Facebook again as my example. Because what you ideally want to do is you want to let your supporters know that you've registered and ask them to support you, but then you want to keep reminding them and motivating them and keeping them going. So it's not that you need to be, you know, banging them over the head with it every 5 minutes, but if you do a monthly newsletter, put something in there every time about Easy Fundraising, or if you have a social post schedule every couple of weeks, put a new message up. So here you'll find one about signing up supporters. There's a different wording about reminding. These two are two of my favorites. So let's say you have a certain amount you do want to raise because you're doing a certain thing. Use this one. We want to raise £200 to put 2 new tyres on the minibus, for example. And this one's important as well because you've got to close the loop. You've got to let your supporters know that it's working. So when you've raised some money, great news, we've already raised £50. It's working. Please keep going. Again, all populated with the with what you need. You don't have to use this wording. You can tweak it, you can change it, but if you're busy and you just want to lift and shift, it's all there for you. Here's posters, flyers and handouts. Here's how-to videos, just 60-second videos, which you can share that explains everything you need to know. I'm not going to show you everything here because there's a lot, but one thing I will show you is this month's messages. Here is where we put things that are new and timely and relevant that you might want to share with your supporters. So at the moment, we have a little competition going where your cause could win a share of £2,000. Your supporters can help you win that. We also have double donation week right now. So you might want to share a message about that, you know, these partners, these retailers have double donations. So you'll always find something new to say here. It will also be themed around shopping times as well. So in the run up to Valentine's Day, you will have seen wording you could have used about, you know, was along the lines of, if you're planning to buy something for the person you love, don't forget the cause you love, that sort of thing. So you'll always find new things here. And one of the really good things about this area is that it's not just you that has access to this. So anyone who registers to support you on Easy Fundraising can also use this area as well. And it will be populated for them with your cause name and your cause link. And the reason we've done that is because just because you've registered the cause with us, you might not be the person who writes the newsletter or sends out the emails or does the social media. Just get the person that does do that to sign up and support you on Easy Fundraising, and then they can come here and they can grab everything that they need. So that's your Promote My Cause area. Once you've registered, head over there. Everything is there for you to get going. Now, the last bit of the session is I'm going to talk about how you can really boost your donations, some of the retailers or retailer categories that you can really make the most of. These are kind of top tips from our best performing causes. Supermarkets. So lots and lots of people do an online grocery shop now, and we work with all of the grocery retailers, and they will all give a donation when you shop with them. And these are the current donation rates for those. They do change, they go up and down sometimes. You'll always find the most relevant and up-to-date info on the site, but this is what it is at the moment. So you can see here, if you were a Sainsbury's shopper, let's say you're brand new, you'd raise £4 the first time you shop with them, and then every time you shop with them after that, you're raising £1.50. So if you already shop with Sainsbury's, they will now give you £1.50 every time you shop with them. So that's over £70 in a year just by somebody doing their online food shopping. And sometimes people will say, oh, I don't really shop online. And then you say, well, do you do supermarket shopping? Oh yeah, I order my groceries online. Great. There you go. This is how you can support your cause. You'll find wording in the Promote My Cause area about supermarkets as well to help you tell your supporters. So that's one way. Travel and holidays. Every element of a trip can raise money for your cause, from the actual trip itself, because we work, as you saw, I showed you, we have holiday package providers that work with us. We have airlines, we have hotel chains, we have cottage companies, ski holiday, cruises. But you can also raise on things like airport transfers, car hire, you can even travel insurance, even foreign exchange. They're all retailers that will do that. And we have some really big names amongst our travel category. So booking.com is a very, very popular one, and they donate 4% of what you spend. And if you think that on average, a family spends £1,500 on their annual summer holiday, just 1 or 2% of that is a decent donation for you in one go. And the example I often cite here, and it is a genuine example, before the pandemic, I booked a holiday for all of my family. There was 8 of us going. We were going to Malta. And we booked a property out there. It got cancelled because of the pandemic, alongside everyone else's holiday that year. Didn't get to go to Malta. But had it have gone ahead, my donation would have been £72, because quite a lot of us going. The retailer was donating, I think, 5% at that particular time. So if you're speaking to any of your supporters and they happen to say, oh yeah, I'm going to Lanzarote this summer, I haven't booked it yet, tell them to get onto Easy Fundraising and have a look at the retailers. There is over 200 travel retailers. And again, not about encouraging people to book a holiday that they weren't going to have. It's just tapping into that behaviour they were already going to do. There's wording in Promote My Cause about travel as well. Now, you've heard me say that most of our retailers will donate a certain percentage of what you spend, and that is true. But there are some retailers where you take a contract with them and they don't necessarily know how much you might spend across the course of that contract. So they can't accurately give you a percentage donation. So these are things like gas and electric, very topical right now, TV and broadband, car insurance, home insurance, pet insurance. So instead, what they do is they give you a one-off larger amount when you take a new policy with them. So this can be 20, 30, 40 pounds sometimes. It usually is. It's usually over £10. It will normally have to be for a new policy. So let's say you were already insured with Aviva for your car insurance and you were renewing, you wouldn't get a donation, unfortunately. But if you were taking a brand new policy, and that is good practice, that's what Martin from Money Saving Expert says. Martin Lewis, he says, go with a new provider each time because you'll get a better rate, and that is absolutely true. So the message for your supporters is, you'll need to insure cars and homes and pets and things every year. Go with a new provider, you'll get a better deal, and you'll also raise a donation if you do it through Easy Fundraising. Again, you will find wording in Promote My Cause for this. My last top tip is business purchases, and this sort of splits into 3 different sections, I suppose. One is have a think about the things that your organisation needs to buy to keep it running. So that might be traditional business things like you may have an office and you need ink and toner, or somebody needs a new laptop, or somebody needs a new chair for the office. it's that sort of thing. It's also staff travel. Maybe someone's got to go somewhere on the train for business by train line. You can raise donations there. Or it might be things like you're running an event and you need refreshments, or you need tea and coffee for the volunteer staff room. What I'm getting at is, think about the things that you buy for your, or your organisation buys to keep running, because you can buy for your organisation and raise for it at the same time. I spoke to a cause very recently. They're quite a small cause. They have 3 members of staff in a small office. 2 of them need new laptops. They've just bought them through HP, Hewlett Packard, and raised a donation at the same time. So just have a think. You can raise for and buy. You can buy for and raise for your organisation. Also think about your network of supporters. Do you have anybody that runs their own business? Often find trustees of good causes run a business or are involved in a business to the extent that they buy for business. Or it might be somebody who travels for business. So just think about your supporter network. One of my colleagues here, Roisin, she supports a small brownie unit. There are only small, there's only 10 girls in their brownie units. There's not lots of parents, but one of the parents travels from Birmingham to London on the train line twice a week for work. And she sometimes has to stay over in London as well. So she has to book a hotel room, which she does through booking.com. I think 0.5% is the donation rate for train line. So it's not a huge donation rate, but she does it twice a week, every week. And she is their biggest raiser. She's raised more than anybody in their particular cause. And the last thing to think about with businesses is, do you have a business that supported you in the past? So maybe someone's chosen you as their cause of the year, or maybe you have a firm of accountants that does your end of year accounts. If you have a good relationship with a business, just ask them what they're buying, ask them if they can do it through Easyfundraising and raise money for you. Just get their purchasing manager to register as a supporter of yours, and every time they buy something, they'll raise a donation. They can still claim back on expenses if they need to, just because it doesn't cost anything different. So business is a really good way. If you have a business buyer on board, you'll certainly see your donations top up quite nicely. So coming to the end now, 3 reasons to use Easyfundraising. So it is a viable alternative if you have been left with a gap because of Amazon Smile, because there are over 7,000 retailers that will donate instead. Your community can support you completely for free, and that is really important right now when people can't afford to give. So it means anyone can help you, from the most passionate volunteer who literally does everything you ask them to, right down to the person who can't afford to give right now, but does do an online shop every now and again. They can all support you. And it is very simple and easy to maintain. It won't take a lot of effort to get set up. And all you then need to do is just keep reminding your supporters about it. And we help you do that with all of the tools that we provide that I've showed you. So the next steps for you, if you're not registered with us already, would be to set up your page via this link. If you're already registered with us, maybe you've been registered before, but the person who registered has left and you don't know the login details, just drop me an email. Here is my email address. Drop me an email and I'll sort it out for you. I'll either be able to get you back into your old account, or we'll get you set up with a new one and we'll merge the details in. So please do get in touch. Once you've registered, book a call if you feel like you need one, if this session hasn't covered everything you need, or you just like to ask a little bit more. And then start sharing the news and start raising that money. You can contact me whenever you need to. It's my job here is to support good causes like you. So keep a note of my email address. Email me after the session. Email me in 3 months' time. Email me next year if you suddenly have a question. That's my job, to look after you guys. So don't feel you can't ask. Don't feel you're asking a stupid question. Guarantee I'll have heard it before, and I'll be able to help you. So just want to say, I really hope that if you're not already registered, you'd like to join us. If you are registered, I hope this has given you a bit of inspiration about how you can raise a bit more. And now I will stop talking, because I'm sure you're absolutely fed up with the sound of my voice now, and I will take any questions that you have.
Well, Becky, that's fantastic. Thank you very much for going through it. Seems to me, I think you called it a no-brainer.
No-brainer, yeah.
It seems like, an organisation like the Harriers, with the numbers of people to use there and their families, you know, with some of the big ticket items like holidays and white goods and insurance, there's there's some money that can be raised. I'm absolutely sure. Absolutely brilliant. I saw you had a couple of new people that actually came on during the call. Just to say that we have recorded this, so we will be sending the whole presentation out, and we will be sending the slides out, so you will be able to go back and see the parts that you missed. But I'm now very happy to open the floor for any questions that you might have.
Oh,
so if anyone's got any, if you'd like to unmute yourselves, if anyone has a question. But I think
okay.
it was a very thorough presentation. I
think
you may have answered all of the questions that we had, because I thought it was just retailers. When you sort of said, you know, TUI and you know these, because there's money, you know, as you say, you could, it's not difficult to spend £1,500 if you've got a family.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're getting a percentage. That's a decent slug of money coming back to the organisation.
And it's surprising sort of that sometimes in things like takeaways, so Just Eat and Domino's and Uber Eats and things like that, you can get a donation that way. You can get a donation on National Express coaches. I got a donation that way recently. Literally just search for the retailer and the chances are we'll have it, or if not, we'll have one very like it.
Well, I know my kids are big ASOS fans, so I see they were there as well. So ASOS, I can see some I can see some mileage in that one.
Definitely, ASOS, H&M, all of those ones. I have a daughter as well who also very much that sort of thing. So and it's really important as well that you as the admin who registers, if you can use it as well, you will just be able to talk more confidently about it to other people. I went to an open evening at a school not that long ago, and they were doing a demonstration for new parents, and the admin had her Easyfundraising account up on a screen, and she was going through and she's going, look, that's my donation for when I bought some shoes from Marks and Spencer's, and that's my donation from when I did this, and she was literally just showing everybody. And if you have raised some donations yourself, then you know you'll feel more confident talking about it. So I would really recommend, if you can, use it as well.
Yeah, it's great. You've got all of the, the messaging, the Facebook, and so that's all done and pre-filled, and that's really, really, really useful. Because one of the things that probably we're not all very good at sometimes is actually promoting stuff like that, and I think that works really well. So,
and it's just having the time. Sometimes people haven't got, it's my job to talk about Easyfundraising every day, and my people that provide the content for that area, that's their job. So we know how to do it, but you might not have the time, or you might think, I don't quite know how to explain this, but it should all be there for you.
Brilliant. Okay, well, are there any questions? I know we're coming up to 11 o'clock. Does anyone have any further questions? If not, I will close the session down, and then